Hi, you're tuned
Hi.
into into collaboration Ascension Healing with Gila Nehemia. I am a sacred erotic self-love poet, mentor, author, and your spiritual heart guide. And I'm really excited today because I'm interviewing Serene Palarea, and she's from Spain, and we're going to be talking about her in a few minutes. This series is about connecting with people all over the world and who are healers to help you on your ascension process. So I'm going to just say a few words about Serene before we go into the questions. And first of all, welcome, Serene. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here with you.
Oh, me too. So let me say a few words about you. She was born in Barcelona, Spain, and traveled a lot and lived in three different countries: Spain, Mexico, and the United States. And she moved countless times from one town to another in Catalonia. And she is a Ph.D. in astronomy and a mother of four young adults. And her main profession and passion is healing together with aromatherapy. She's also a coach of medicinal nutrition and mindfulness, and she's a writer. She has many talents. She's written many books, most of them in Spanish. And she has short stories for children that are translated in English entitled The Magic World of Energy. And it's short stories about the chakras and The Magic World of Nature, which is 5 short stories about the role of trees, animals, and the crystalline grid. Her feeling is that she's been a healer since she was a baby because she was born very well connected with some of her past lives. And the memories never left her, though, as the years went by. And after leaving the University of Barcelona, where she was teaching and doing research, her consciousness began to stir more and more within her. So it's been almost 25 years ago, and she could heal herself deeply at the same time of remembering all past lives. So we'll get into more of the details in the conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'd love to just start with some breathing and set an intention. Is that okay with you?
Yes, of course.
Great. So let's close our eyes and we'll take 3 deep breaths together. So calling in our ancestors, our light teams, our angels, God source, universe, Holy Mother, Holy Father, to assist us in this special session of healing and ascension, to connect our hearts between Serene and I and anyone else that's watching, as well as to convey any messages that need to be conveyed, and to open up into that crystalline grid, that new beginning, the full stepping into fully the 5th dimension. And Serene, if you'd like to say a few words, you can before we open our eyes. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, we can open our eyes. Thank you so much. Oh, and so it is. So yeah, I'd love to know more about how you got on this path, about your childhood and the traumas that you experienced with your parents. If you can tell us a little bit about that, because people who are on this path, they love to know the personal stories of people, because that's how they can connect and relate to you. So feel free to share.
Okay, thank you. Well, um, in spite of I was born uh, connected, very well connected with my spirit guides, with the luminous beings around me, and I spoke to them ceaselessly, in fact, ceaselessly, during all the time when I was a child, a baby, even I remember that. But the environment wasn't as nice as my inner world. At the contrary, I was abused by my father many times. I was rejected by my mother. For example, she never wanted to sit down with me at the same table. I barely remember the few times that I had lunch or dinner with her at her side, because she rejected always me, for example. And she was as a great victim, because she felt that she was the good one and all people around was the bad one, especially me. She focused her attention on me. So I was the bad guy. So I was the bad that had to be neglect. Well, but then I became very ill. I had hepatitis at 7 years old. It was a little break about all of this. But then, few years later, my father began to brainwash me. So when I arrived, and he arrived at home, he entered my room and he began to talk about how I had to behave, how people in the world were. It was brainwashing. So I had to protect myself of all those words and thoughts, until finally, when I was 22, I was at the university studying physics. But finally, I married a man, because it was the only way I could went out of the house. I didn't find another way, so I married my first husband at this moment, so I could finish the career, because when it was a moment that in the exams I went so blocked, so I couldn't write down the exam. But then I knew the subject. But at that moment, my nervous system was so blocked, was so tense for all I lived at home, that I couldn't. So finally I said, well, if I want to finish my career and start a path of life, I need to go out of this situation. So I married at that moment. I finished my career. Then I stayed at the University of Barcelona. I did the master's degree first, and then the PhD degree. And I taught the students at the university. But it was a moment when I had, well, in all of this, I got divorced, then I married again, another man. I had 2 children at that moment, almost 2 children. I was pregnant of the second one. Mm-hmm. When one fine day I said, I couldn't anymore to be so scientist, so rational. I feel something within me that needs to open to life, to understand much better the life. Physics didn't answer me my inner question, so I need to find them in another way. So as in my childhood, for example, many times, I saw my hands and I said to myself, I know that my hands can heal, but I don't know why. And one fun day, while I was pregnant of my second child, I had the opportunity to make to assist a workshop about healing, and I came out of that workshop saying to me, no, I know that it's more I know that it's more.
Mm.
So at that moment, my healing path began to my consciousness still within me. I made a quantum leap, as I say. I left physics, I left astronomy, and I began a path of recovering myself, to heal myself, and then open to myself to others, to heal others. I've been a healer many lifetimes, so it was more remembering something that I had within me, a wisdom, a knowledge that I had and I have within me.
Wow.
And yeah, and very soon I began to give classes, healing classes, for example, and well, all since then.
I wanted to talk about a couple of things that you said that I think are really important, especially this part about remembering, and then also the part about, let's do this first, actually. This will be the first question. So moving from the rational thought, because you were a scientist, right, learning scientific method and focusing on science, and moving into that realm of the, I would even say the mystic, or the, you know, that emotional space, that remembering. It actually ties together both questions. Was that a challenging space for you to move from one to the other? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be a big, you know, like so different, because they do intertwine in some ways. But just from your perspective, moving into that, how was that?
Well, for me, it was following my truth. So it was easy, but of course, my environment didn't thought the same. So, for example, from then on, my father stopped talking to me. For example, he haven't talked to me anymore since he died. For example, my ex-husband right now, my second ex-husband right now, said one fine day, "Oh, now I wanted you for your mind and your body, and now only is left your body." And I said, "Ah, interesting.
Yeah, wait a
Thank
second. I
you."
have a question there. I think it's an important question.
Yes.
Yeah, so like, what does that mean, so that your mind and your body, like, how is that not your mind anymore? You know, that now that you decided to be a healer, you're not as intellectually stimulating. I'm just curious, like, what does that mean for him?
I suppose that for him, as I left the scientific path, I wasn't scientific anymore. So it doesn't matter what I thought, what were my interests, my feelings. No, no, no. I wasn't scientific, so I wasn't worthy anymore.
For him, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even my university colleagues, the other professors, they also stopped talking to me. Mm.
How did that feel to go through that? Because we all have those kinds of challenges, especially when we decide a new path. Usually people fall away, even the ones we're close to, because somehow we're not aligned anymore. So how did that make you feel?
Well, I felt so deep within me that it was my truth, that I need to do that I had to do that I said, well, if this is the case, so bye-bye. But yeah, I felt that first was me.
Wow. I really want to emphasize that for a moment, you know, just to choose yourself and your path with the divine, and deciding that this is your truth and sticking by that. I think it's very difficult. It can be, because we've been so brought up to be part of a group, and to go with, you know, what the, what's accepted, and I'm honoring you and just, witnessing you stepping into that power, so many years ago, and deciding, okay, this is my path. I don't care what anybody thinks. Because I think it's such, it can be very challenging, depending on how you grew
Well,
up.
no, for me, it wasn't so challenging because I always felt that I was the black sheep of the family. So I never felt that that I belonged to them.
Mm.
The, even when I was a really scientist, theoretically scientist, but I always had and I have a clear audience, for
Mm-hmm.
example,
Mm-hmm.
and I continued perceiving
Mm.
things. So I always felt that I was different of everybody else around me. And for that, uh, it had been really hard for me to feel that I belong to somewhere, to the earth, to the earth.
Wow,
I
that's
always thought that it was something wrong with me. I didn't have to be born here at this moment. Sometimes I remember walking in Barcelona, in the streets of Barcelona, and sometimes there are workers in the streets, and I said how primitive they are. Because I said, no, no, things can be done differently. They are so primitive. So it was for me all. I don't know why I'm here.
right, right. No, and I think we all have that, right? I've questioned myself even recently, why am I here? And it's and I also want to just and I want to ask you, because I feel this way. Like, I did feel like I belonged to my family, so it was a challenging thing for me to step away. Though I think that also it's like, I think our journeys are also like onions. It's like we're uncovering more and more. Even if we've done that, even if we stepped away, there may be more to uncover and to heal. Do you feel that way?
Well, of course, when we are born into a family, we uh, we have within us the information, the karma, the information, the past information and the present of the family. So even if we feel whether we feel that we don't belong to that family, within us there's the information, the family information, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
etc., ancestors. So we hold this information here to be recognized and healed.
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's important, to understand also that that karma, that thing that we're going through, that could be that challenge, is a lesson to be learned and to heal that. And also for the family, that's what I realized also as I got deeper in my journey. It isn't just about us, it's a healing for our generations,
Yes.
ancestrally.
Mhm.
That this is a very deep cleansing for our children. A lot of the things I did were also for my children, because I saw
Yes.
patterns that were happening. And I felt like, only, if I can do this, I know that they will have a better life.
Yes.
And they won't have to go through the
Yes.
karma that I went through, to get
Yes.
to that point.
Mhm.
Really great, important. Can you tell us the kind of healing that you do?
Well, um, I can offer the kind of healing that I heal myself, and I healed myself, so I can access to our soul in many levels, our multidimensional soul as it is. So I can access past life, present, parallel life, doesn't matter, and the precious codes of the soul to heal past, present wounds, traumas, doesn't matter. Then I can access and heal the chakras, not only the 7 main chakras, but the 12 chakras, also the outside the body, and the 7 main energy field layers, although there are more layers because the 12th chakra is a chakra and a layer at the same time. So I can access to all of this information and feel the emotions we have within, the wounds, the traumas, the blockages. So we can heal all of them little by little, not in only one session, of course, because we could be crazy, but little by little we can heal anything. And also I can feel the body. So if you have some viruses, bacteria, or something, I can tell you, you have the liver, for example, stagnant or blocked. For example, in the stomach you have something, etc. So we can work with all of this. So it's body, emotions, mind, the cosmic mind, and the soul.
Fantastic. That's so amazing. And you do this both physically and virtually?
Yes, normally virtually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Because I have, but many years ago, it's not about only the pandemic, but many years ago, I just started to heal virtually because I have people spread over Spain, Catalonia, in Spain, but always sometimes from other countries. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll put all the information where people can get in contact with you in the details so they can access you. I definitely recommend, it's so expansive, your healing, that definitely to try, if anyone's resonating with Serene, to definitely try that. Because when we can really just follow our heart and know that that's our soul calling us to this type of healing, that's actually, the message. We have to feel, I feel like it resonates in the heart. And then, that's how we work together. Actually, what I found in the healing that I do, especially in writing and also in my clients with quantum healing, is we're growing together. So it's really not just like you healing someone, it's like you're both healing each other. It's meant to happen. So if you're healing the call, definitely go for it. And I'd like to know more about your books.
Okay, here I have the short stories.
Oh, nice.
First, I show you, here is the Spanish version. And for example, the magic wall of energy, here is the first English version.
Oh, nice.
Now I have them in Amazon, and the front cover are the same than this one in English. But this is the English version. And then I have the magic wall of nature.
Oh, nice.
Is this one, and the Spanish version.
So can you get both the Spanish and English version on Amazon?
Yes, with the yes. The short stories, yes. The books for adults, no, or young or teenagers, for example, they are only in Spanish right now.
But they're available online?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm sure there are plenty of Spanish speakers that are available, so I can read Spanish.
This one is a compilation of almost all my experiences about healing.
Oh, fantastic. Beautiful.
So here is almost all my knowledge.
Wow. Yes. Well, great. It's a legacy, right? I think writing, as you know, I'm a writer and I love writing. And it's so important to share our knowledge because, you can touch so many people physically. But you can expand that knowledge to millions or whoever is interested through the form of books and audio. So I think it's super important, and I thank you for doing that amazing work.
Thank you.
And I wanted to just ask, you said when we were talking and we were chatting before this, that the books, were they inspired through your children?
Yeah. For example, here there's a draw.
Ah, nice.
Here's one.
Oh,
For
that's
example,
so
is about the grit, but when it's contaminated, this yeah, this is the short story. Bernard speaks with the trees.
Ah, nice.
And it explains the trees' role within us, in our environment. And Bernard was the name of my second son.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. That's really, really beautiful. I love how you tied that into the children's short stories. I feel like our children are our soul's messengers.
Yes, because, well, I had finally 4 children. And the short stories are all pictures are from them. Each short story has 4 pictures, one of each one.
Ah, that's so nice. Yay.
Yeah, I explained to them the short story, and then they made the picture, draw. Sometimes fight to them. No, I want this one. This is easier.
I really love that. Yeah, in my poetry book, my daughter took some photos, so it's important for me to add that. But yeah, I think it's so beautiful that you created a children's story, children's stories, and they were involved in it as they were children.
Yes. Well, I was lucky in this way because I raised my children by my own. Their father left away. Right, I had the 4th one. He said, "Oh, we have 4 children." Yes, I don't want to have 4, and he left. Bye bye. Thank you.
Good for you.
Yeah, in these ways, yes. So my children had the clairaudience, no, but the clairvoyance open, so they could see what I talk to them.
Really, yes.
But now only the oldest continue open with open clairvoyance. A bit less because she's scientific now.
Ah, she is. Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes, hey, remember you.
Yes, we can't, we don't know exactly where our children are moving towards, but that foundation that you made with them, created with them, is always going to stay with them. So that is fantastic. I think as parents, and I remember Steve said this in our interview, you know, as starseeds, and we have starseed children, you know, it's so important to pass down that information in as clearly as possible so that they realize the breadth of their capabilities. Because sometimes we don't have that kind of environment, like you and I, and we moved into it later.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, so you wanted to explain why you had the 4 children. Can you tell us about that, their incarnation through you?
Well, after I left the university and the father said to me, "I only want your body." I said, "Why? Well, maybe I have to leave. Maybe I have to think about something to do with him." But one day fun day, I was meditating, and all of a sudden, 2 souls came to me and asked me, "Do you want to be our mother?" And I said, yes. And I said, wow, silly woman, you said yes to other two. So, and yeah, they came really quickly. The first one, a girl. I saw a girl and a boy. And really, the first one, a girl, that I want to be here, I want to be here. I listen to her sometimes, so she came here. And very, she was very connected with her name, because she said, I want to be named Giselle.
Oh.
Yeah. I said, okay, your name Giselle. And the youngest one, a boy, I had more experiences with him, because my relationship with his father, with the father, was really bad at that moment. I said, no, 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 sorry, sorry, I made a mistake, but you can be here. But he said, yes, I want to be here. He said, wow, what a stubborn he is. And yes, he came here.
Oh.
Yeah, and at the same time, before the conception, he said to me, I want to be named Jordi, George,
Mm-hmm.
Jordi. And well, but it's a really common name here in Catalonia. I want to be named Jordi. Okay. So, and he continues being stubborn.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've heard other people tell me that too, like they see their souls before they come down. I actually don't. I am clairvoyant as well, but I don't remember that. I think it's more for me through feeling.
Yeah.
And so I just felt that something would happen. And also, have you ever read um, Barbara Marzinek? Bringers of the
Mm-hmm.
Dawn. Yeah, so she says that. She says like when you set it for me, it was setting the intention that this is, not exactly knowing when the child would come, but like, I set the intention, and then it's like everything comes, at least for me, everything has come with intention. Very, very important. Sometimes things come serendipitously, but it's usually with that already set intention.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she talks about that. And you wanted to do, before that, so I'll tell you in the details if anybody wants any, there's a discount if you're listening to this and you're interested in any of Serene's services. Yes, I'll put that in the details as to what that is. So because that's the free gift for everybody, for being here today and being interested in Serene. And you also want to do a healing, is that right? You want to do a healing for us?
Yes.
So whenever you're ready, we're here.
Okay. So I give you a meditation. It's a meditation for our heart, from our heart, to open more it. So close your eyes and begin to breathe slowly. As you breathe deep and slowly, your mind calms down and you begin to be in this present, in the present of your soul. In the present of who you are. In this present, there's no past, there's no future. only a beautiful infinite present that encompasses all what you are. And continue breathing slowly. If there are some thoughts that come to your mind, simply let them go and focus your attention on your breath, here and now, and in your body. Now, place a hand over your heart and feel it, how it beats day and night ceaselessly, taking care of your body, taking care of you. Your heart is much more than this organ, because it's a pure physical manifestation of the cosmic heart that beats eternally. And this cosmic heart is within you, here and now. The cosmic heart is a beautiful part of your body. It's an amazing part of you. Now repeat after me. I'm a diamond, pure and brilliant heart. I reclaim the power of my inner light to create beauty, healing, and love within me and in the world. I recognize the light within me. At this precious moment, here and now. And now, after these words, begin to breathe from your heart, inhaling and exhaling from your heart. Inhale slowly from your heart, exhale slowly from your heart. Inhale and exhale with intention of expanding the energy of your heart beyond your body. Beyond your boundaries, because you are much more than we think. Inhale and exhale from your heart while opening to the beauty and the love of the life around you. Inhale and exhale slowly to create more and more space within you, within your heart. And hold this space, for it is you. Go within that space. Enter into it, for it is you. Feel how precious you are. Feel how loved you are. Continue breathing from your heart. And now, little by little, begin to return in the here and now to your body. And once you would be ready, open your eyes.
Wow, that was so amazing. Thank you, Serene. Feels very, very peaceful and very blessed.
It's a very important meditation to open more and more, expand more and more our heart, so our self-esteem. And in this way, we can place in some way the mind's energy, the brain's energy within our heart to be more aligned, more connected with ourselves, with all what we are, and connect more at the same time with our body.
Yes, I love that. Just came from yoga, and then I did this interview with you and a meditation. Just a feeling very like, okay, very
Fly,
alive.
fly, fly.
Yes, fly, fly. I love the fly, fly. But yeah, it's still grounded. You know, it's still grounded. So I think I really love that, and I truly appreciated this time with you.
Thank you.
Very blessed soul. Again, if anyone is resonating with Serene, feel free to connect with her. She has so much to offer, very knowledgeable, and also very connected into the other ethereal realms and the crystalline grid. So just so much love for you. And this was recorded right before the full moon in Capricorn. So very powerful full moon of release and stepping more into that heart space, into that sovereignty. So thank you. Would you like to say any closing words before we end?
Well, maybe many of us have lived some kind of trauma in our lives, but is within us which way we choose. If we want to align with our truth, with our consciousness, light and love, or stay in the victim. So in spite that the staying without in our truth is not easy, it's easier, much easier to stay in the victim, but at the same time, as you go within, as you reconnect within you, the rewards are, well, are infinite in reality, because is you can maybe for the first time embrace yourself as who you really are, and in this way you're able to embrace all beings, because the other way is really, really difficult.
I'm so aligned with that thought, that belief that that's really the only way. When we love ourselves completely and infinitely, that's how we can love another, and all beings, right? Plants, animals, any being. It doesn't just have to be humans.
Yes, yes, of course. Nature is my ally.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for those beautiful, beautiful, wise words. And yeah, so I just like to close the space. If you could just close your eyes with me, and we'll take 3 deep breaths. And just thank our ancestors, our light teams, our angels, God, Source, Universe, Holy Mother, Holy Father, for this beautiful interview and amazing meditation, and the heart-to-heart connection between Serene and I and all the others that are listening in on this interview, and blessing everyone from our hearts to each other. From the divine above. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, Shanti Shalom.
Thank you.
And again, if anyone needs any assistance connecting to Serene or any of my services, I provide a plethora of services for group mentoring and personal mentoring. Writing is just one of the many pieces I do, but that is a big piece, as well as writing your own stories. So we're here to help you. And again, as we said, we work together to really help ascend the planet. So we are honoring you for listening today and for being with us. Thank you.